Good evening to you all. Good evening to you all. Let us start the current affairs session. Every day we read current affairs in the newspapers and also magazines. And in all current affairs and newspapers, we'll study various things, but we don't know what to study and what not to study. And most of the civil services aspirants read only Hindu paper. I don't think Hindu paper is enough for the present questions which are asked in prelims and mains. Hindu paper is not just enough. For your comfort and convenience, to explain you in detail about various current affairs of the day, we are launching a session about current affairs, name Current Affairs Bulletin of CSBIS Academy. The object of this session is to connect you with the current affairs and questions that were asked in the prelims and mains. Current affairs with questions. So, what type of questions you will get in this current affairs of the day? So, today I'll take some topics and I'll explain you what questions you might get from today's current affairs and how to collect the notes and what is the method to derive the conclusions for answers. Okay. For example, in today's newspaper, I have seen the news that the central government launched the mobile app for Pradhan Mantri Swanidhi scheme. Pradhan Mantri Swanidhi scheme. You all know that Pradhan Mantri Swanidhi means Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi. Swanidhi means Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi. A mobile app was also launched for that. So, what might be the probable question we can expect from this type of schemes and program? So, when we study this news in the newspaper, generally we feel that generally we feel that if you understand what is Swanidhi, that is enough. Street vendors, Atma Nirbhar Nidhi. But according to me, you are expected to read holistically, integrated, comprehensive preparation. Now I'll tell you how they might ask you a question on this. Pradhan Mantri Swanidhi scheme comes under which ministry? Which ministry is a nodal ministry for the Pradhan Mantri Swanidhi scheme? It is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. It is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. And second thing which you need to remember is this scheme is applicable only to the states and UTs. This scheme is applicable for the beneficiaries who are in the states and UTs who have rules, who have notified rules under Protection of Livelihood and Regulation of Street Vending Act 2014. Do you know that we have an act in India called Protection of Livelihood and Regulation of Street Vending Act 2014? In prelims, they may ask you a question whether we have such act. Yes, and the benefits under PM Swanidhi will be applicable only to the beneficiaries who are in the states which have notified rules and regulations under Protection of Livelihood and Regulation of Street Vending Act 2014. We have an act and state government have to make a rules according to the act. Only those beneficiaries who are in that states can get benefit out of PM Swanidhi. So question might be that intricate. Question might be very in depth. So there is an act in India called Protection of Livelihood and Regulation of Street Vending Act 2014. First you should know this. Then they may ask you one more question. What is the implementing agency of PM Swanidhi scheme? Which agency act as implementing agency of PM Swanidhi scheme? It is SIDBI, SIDBI, Small Industries Development Bank of India. It is SIDBI, Small Industries Development Bank of India. It is an implementing agency of PM Swanidhi scheme. And you should also know, up to 10,000 rupees, they will get the benefit. They will get a loan up to 10,000 rupees, providing affordable working capital. Provide Providing affordable working capital. So they may get this loan and matter. It's a micro credit facility. PM Swanidhi scheme offers micro credit. Even this is an important point. It offers a micro credit facility. And one more important point here is, if the person who takes the loan, if the person who takes the loan, if he pays money regularly, repays properly, he will get interest subsidy of 7%. 7% interest subsidy will be credited back to his account. So if you pay properly, you will get 7% interest subsidy, which will be credited back to your account. And remember, those street vendors in India, after agriculture, most of the people in the informal sector are located in street vending activities. Street vendors are very common in India, and they are adversely affected by COVID-19 pandemic lockdown. Because of lockdown, their livelihood was lost. Again, to regain their livelihood, PM Swanidhi scheme was launched. So we all know this Swanidhi is for street vending, but what type of questions they can ask, I have explained you. SIDBI is the nodal agency, and Swanidhi is a microcredit facility. And in Swanidhi, the ministry is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, and the beneficiary states. The beneficiaries should locate in the states or UTs who are covered under regulations of Street Vending Act 2014. There is an act in India called Street Vending Act 2014. The state governments which have notified those regulations are only from that state governments the beneficiaries are allowed. So this is the thing, intricacy, how to study a particular scheme or a program in detail. That is very important. So second thing, I have taken the second article. Even first article is also from Hindu. The second article is also from Hindu, but I'll tell you how to expect a question from this. So in the second article, they have mentioned about Malabar exercises, Malabar joint naval exercises. Till date, you all know Malabar is a trilateral exercise. Till date, you all know Malabar is a trilateral exercise. India, America, and Japan. Now, India wanted to invite Australia also. For Malabar trilateral exercise, India wanted to invite Australia also. So, a key meeting was held on Friday. On last Friday, in the Ministry of Defense, a key meeting was held, and they wanted to invite Australia also, but not yet finalized. But not yet finalized. Now, what question we might expect from this? From today's current affairs, what question might we might expect? There is a group which was formed in 2007 called Quad. There's a group which was formed in 2007 called Quad, QUAD. India, America, Japan, and Australia. They may ask you a simple question: which of the following countries are the members in Quad? Which of the following countries are the members in Quad? Now, if in Malabar exercise, if Australia also joins, all the four countries in Quad will be in the Malabar also. All the four countries in the Quad will be in the Malabar also. So, this article I have taken from Hindu. Next article I have taken from NDTV. Next article, today's important article, I have collected the article from NDTV. So, I am telling the source so that you will understand where from I am getting each and everything. Okay. In NDTV, the article is today onwards, Consumer Protection Act 2019 is coming into force. Consumer Protection Act 2019 is coming into force today onwards. Actually, we have Consumer Protection Act 1986 earlier. We have Consumer Protection Act 1986 earlier. Now, this 34-year-old act was completely repealed. A new act have come, Consumer Protection Act 1986. The old act was completely repealed. and the new act have come. The old act date is Consumer Protection Act 1986 and the new act year is Consumer Protection Act 2019. So, very important act. It might come. The question might come in prelims, in mains, and also in interview. Consumer Protection Act is very, very important. So, what is the specialty about this act? First of all, you should know what do you mean by consumer protection? Consumer protection means the person who takes some services or goods on payment is called a consumer. His rights should be protected. His rights should be protected. For example, if you purchase a TV or a car, or if you take a service in hospital, or from a lawyer, or from a doctor, they all come under consumer protection. And you should be ensured of quality, quantity, purity, potency of the goods. Quality, quantity, purity, potency, and standard of the goods in Consumer Protection Act. Coming to Consumer Protection Act 2019, why it is very, very important? Why it is very, very important? First thing, if you give misleading ads, misleading advertisements, there is a provision for jail also. If you give misleading advertisements, there is a provision for jail term also. If you give some ad which is misleading the customer, misleading the consumer, you can be imprisoned. This is the first thing. And sometimes celebrities will give ads for topmost brands. The celebrities, if they mislead people, they can be banned. The celebrities, if they mislead people, they can be banned for endorsing products in future. So even there is a punishment for celebrities also, not jail. It is not jail punishment. It was they will be banned from endorsing the projects in future. And third important thing you all know, in the recent consumer protection, the most important thing which we need to focus is e-commerce. Most of the consumers purchase many things from online. So the new Consumer Protection Act 2019 will also protect online customers, e-commerce. And you can also file your consumer grievance. You can also file your consumer complaint through e-complaint. E-complaint means online complaint you can file. And in the new Consumer Protection Act, you can be able to file your case anywhere which is nearer to the commission. For example, the consumer will be able to file case in the nearest commission under the jurisdiction in which he resides. For example, if you are residing in a particular particular commission jurisdiction, you can file a complaint there. There is no necessary that the product should be manufactured there, the product should be prepared there, the product should be purchased there. If you are residing in a particular place, and in that, if there is a commission which comes in the jurisdiction, you can file a complaint there. Even this is very important. And remember, earlier the district, there will be three levels: district level, state level, national level consumer grievance systems. District level, state level, national level. In the district level, in the district level, district forums earlier used to take up cases up to 20 lakhs. Now it is up to 1 crore. The district level cases now can listen up to 1 crore. Now the district commission can listen the cases, can take up the cases up to 1 crore. Now the state level commission can take up the cases up to 10 crore, can take up the cases up to 10 crore. And national commission now can take up the cases more than 10 crore. So district level up to 1 crore, state level up to 10 crores, more than 10 crore national level, more than 10 crore national level. So we have a new authority called Central Consumer Protection Authority to protect and enforce the rights of consumers. Under Consumer Protection Act 2019, which have come into force as on today, on 20th July 2020, there is a Central Consumer Protection Authority which protects and promotes, enforces the rights of consumers. There is a Central Consumer Protection Authority. You need to remember this. Okay. So this is the other thing. And next important news for today. Mobile app application Kurma launched. Mobile application Kurma. Mobile app Kurma. You all know Kurma, turtles. In India, we have a program called Operation Save Kurma. Operation Save Kurma. So whenever any news comes under wildlife, you should note it down in the newspapers. Whenever you find any current affairs in the newspapers or current affairs in somewhere in the magazines on the particular day or on the recently if it happens, immediately you need to take a note of it. So mobile app called Kurma was launched to save turtles in India. To save turtles in India, to collect the data and to rescue the turtles, to collect the data and to rescue the turtles. And who developed this mobile app? Who developed this mobile app? Indian Turtle Conservation Action Network. Indian Turtle Conservation Action Network. ITCAN. Indian Turtle Conservation Action Network, along with Turtle Survival Alliance, along with Turtle Survival Alliance India and Wildlife Conservation Society India. So if at all, if somebody develops something, you should know who have developed it. Who have developed it. Coming to coming to Kurma, we have in India Operation Save Kurma also. We have in India Operation Save Kurma also. So I'll give you some tips. What are the probable questions from this Operation Kurma which are related to wildlife? When you read a particular thing about wildlife, you need to have an integrated approach in your prelims preparation. For example, you should read about traffic. TRAFFIC. Traffic is an international wildlife trade monitoring organization. What is traffic? Traffic is an international wildlife trade monitoring organization. So whenever you read about protecting turtles, you should read about traffic because traffic is a very famous NGO in the world which try to protect biodiversity and sustainable development, which tries to protect biodiversity and sustainable development. And traffic is a joint program of WWF. Traffic is a joint program of WWF, World Wildlife Fund, and the IUCN. WWF and the IUCN. And when you read about traffic, international NGO, you should also read about India's WCCB, Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. You should also read India's WCCB, Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. Okay. And you should also read what is Operation Save Kurma. So when you read a particular topic, you should read completely the in and out of the topic. In current affairs, if you get a topic, you should completely read in and out of the topic. And the next important current affairs of the day, the UAE, United Arab Emirates, have successfully launched the first Mars mission. In fact, it is not just UAE's first Mars mission, but the Arab world's first Mars mission. MARS, Mars. Mars is a red planet, you know that. UAE launched a successful mission to the Mars today. From where? First question, from where? What is the name? The name of the UAE's first Mars mission is HOPE. HOPE. The name of the UAE's first Mars mission is HOPE. HOPE. So the Mars mission is a mission to red planet, you know that. And it was launched from Tanegashima Space Center in Japan. Tanegashima. TANEGASHIMA. The UAE have launched its first Mars mission from Japan. From where? From Japan. Tanegashima Space Center in Japan. And this 2-3 months and this summer, actually, 3 countries are sending missions to Mars. 3 countries in the world are sending mission to Mars: America, China, and UAE. America's NASA is sending Perseverance rover. America's NASA is sending Perseverance rover. China Tianwen 1. China is sending Tianwen, TIANWN1. So America is sending Perseverance rover. China is sending Tianwen 1. And UAE have sent HOPE, HOPE, HOPE. So Mars is important this time. Mars is important this time. Uh, even America is also sending a helicopter to Mars. Helicopter, Ingenuity helicopter. Even this name is also very important. America is sending a helicopter to Mars. The name of the helicopter is Ingenuity helicopter. Okay. So there are 3 important missions to Mars this year. Particularly from last 2-3 months, we are Three important missions are in use. One is UAE, Hope Mission. Second is America's Perseverance rover. Third is Tianwen 1 of China. Tianwen 1 of China. Okay. Next important news for today. Next important news. This is Global Multidimensional Poverty Index 2020. Global Multidimensional Poverty Index 2020. Remember, if you get any news about index, first read who will give that index. If there is any headline about any index, first read who will give that index. So 2020 Global Multidimensional Poverty Index, Achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, deals with mostly SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. See, this multidimensional poverty index was released by Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative. Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative along with UNDP, United Nations Development Program. Just remember, Global Multidimensional Poverty Index was released by Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative along with UNDP, United Nations Development Program. And it says that across 107 countries in the world, across 107 developing countries in the world, 1.3 billion people, that is 22% of world population, still are very poor. 22% of world population. And this particular index also said India have lifted many people from poverty. This particular index also said India have lifted many people from poverty, but due to corona crisis, not only in India but in many developing and underdeveloped countries, again we are going back to BPL days. Most of the people again enter into poverty lines because of this. So this is called multi-dimensional poverty index. Just remember, if an index is given, first of all you should read who have given and what is India's stature in that. Any index, if it is released, first of all you should know who have given that and what is India's stature in that. And next important news, this is a shocking news and a dangerous news. NASA, America's NASA warns, it warns us that a massive asteroid approaching the Earth on July 24th, a massive asteroid approaching the Earth on July 24th. It is traveling in a great speed of 48,000 kilometers per hour. So, this is not the first time we are having asteroids, but this asteroid is a massive asteroid and a dangerous asteroid. NASA named this asteroid as Asteroid 2020 ND. NASA named this asteroid as Asteroid 2020 ND. The asteroid is also classified as potentially hazardous asteroid, potentially dangerous, potentially hazardous asteroid, and a near Earth orbit. It may anytime hit the Earth. There's a danger of that. So there is a warning from NASA that a massive asteroid approaching the Earth on July 24th. It is traveling at a great speed of 48,000 kilometers per hour. It is traveling at a great speed of 48,000 kilometers per hour, and NASA named it as Asteroid 2020 ND. Asteroid 2020 ND. And it is a potentially hazardous asteroid and also near Earth orbit. You may get a prelims question. What is a potentially hazardous asteroid? Potentially hazardous asteroids are the asteroids which may threaten by closely approaching the Earth, which may threaten the Earth by closely approaching the Earth. This is called potentially hazardous asteroid. So, every day I'll take from Monday to Saturday current affairs session, and the important notes of this session will be posted in CSB IAS Academy Telegram group. There's a group Bala CSB IAS Academy. In that group, I'll post the notes regularly from morning to evening. I'll be posting the news of current affairs, what are really important. You can follow. Even what all I told just now, I'll be sending that notes also in the Telegram channel. And every day I'll come. And very soon, the same thing I'll start in Telugu also. Many are asking Telugu medium, I understand. I'll do that. Thank you very much. Thank you all.